Hello everyone, once again, I Kalpesh Vyas on behalf of Swat and Kids, I welcome you all into this video interview as well as podcast session. Okay, और आज का हमारा जो ये वीडियो इंटरव्यू है वो एक ऐसे एक्सपर्ट के साथ है, एक ऐसे पेरेंटिंग मेंटर के साथ है जो अपने फील्ड में काफी अच्छी तरह से काम कर रहे हैं। आज के हमारा जो पेरेंटिंग एक्सपर्ट है, शी इज एन इंजीनियर, okay, and she has done her post graduation in diploma in child psychology. She has been working into this child psychology field as well as the parenting field since last 5 years, and she is on a mission to empower the relationship between the child and the parents. Okay, she is a wonderful author and she has released a best-selling book named as The Visionary Parent, जो कि काफी पॉपुलर हुई और उसपे काफी लोगों ने उससे गाइडेंस लिया कि भाई पेरेंट्स कैसे बने। So as well as she is also a certified coach and she is a inner child healer. Okay, and she has brought this wonderful idea to use the power of inner child healing to empower the relationship between the parents and the child. ओके, सो आज के हमारे इस सेशन में, आज के हमारे इस मेंटर से हम सीखते हैं कि पेरेंटिंग क्या है और द विजनरी पेरेंट्स क्या होते हैं एंड हाउ वी कैन बिकम अ विजनरी पेरेंट। ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। Yes, Apurva ji, welcome to this interview and thank you very much for your time first of all. Okay, and yeah, जैसे मैंने already अभी बताया कि भाई द विजनरी पेरेंट करके आपने एक पूरा बहुत ही अच्छा कंसेप्ट आपने लिया है और उसके ऊपर आपने एक बुक भी लिखी है एंड दैट आल्सो बीन द बेस्ट सेलिंग बुक, राइट? ओके, सो हम ये जानना चाहेंगे व्हाट इज द आइडिया बिहाइंड द विजनरी पेरेंट, कौन होते हैं ये विजनरी पेरेंट? या
Awesome. Thank you so much for, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me into this particular interview. I think you're doing an amazing job, Kalpesh. Thank you so much for doing that. And so the visionary parent, basically, I went through some very difficult time in my journey of being a parent. जब हम प्रेग्नेंट होते हैं तब बहुत ज्यादा ख्याल रखते हैं, राइट? अपने बेबी इन द वूम, दैट फीटस, वी टेक केयर अ लॉट. वी गो टू सोनोग्राफी सेशंस एवरी सिंगल मंथ. वी टेक केयर ऑफ द बेबी. वी ईट हेल्दी. एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. बट एक बार अगर बच्चा बाहर आ गया, उसके बाद वी कंप्लीटली फॉरगेट व्हाट वी नीड टू डू. वी आर कंप्लीटली क्लूलेस कि करना क्या है अभी इस बच्चे के साथ, राइट? एंड व्हाट एंड्स अप हैपनिंग इज दैट वी tend to pass whatever we have learned from our parents or our surroundings. We tend to pass it on to the future generation. That's what happens. I truly believe that parenting is a skill. It is actually a life skill that we need to learn, and it cannot be inherited.
Okay.
Right? जो हमारे parents ने, हमारे caregivers ने दिया है, not necessary those beliefs, those thought process might be true in today's day and age. So we need to start questioning about those belief system that we have collected over the time. Now, why visionary parents? See, since 0 to 12, हमारा जो brain रहता है, from 0 to 12 years, हमारा brain is completely subconscious. And we know that when we grow up, like we are subconscious beings. जो भी हम करते हैं, हम out of habit करते हैं. We are habitual beings, right? क्योंकि वो सबकॉन्शियस में जाके हमारा इतना फिक्स हो जाता है कि हम वो हैबिट बन जाती है हमारी.
It is more kind of automated thing. We are doing automatically everything.
Exactly. We are on auto mode, right?
Yeah.
All the time. Now, from 0 to 12, whatever we learn from our parents, from our environment, from our caregivers, it becomes like a pattern. It becomes like a pattern, and these patterns keep on repeating. जब हम बड़े होते हैं, हम टीनेजर रहते हैं, हम बड़े रहते हैं, हम when we become adults, we usually ask ourselves, no, कि ये हमेशा मेरे साथ ही क्यों होता है? These are the sentences we keep on repeating, right? Because of the fact that we live by pattern, right? We live by pattern, and these patterns are created long ago when we were children. And that is where this visionary parent concept comes into picture, because if you are a parent, if you have started your journey as a parent, you need to have the vision. What kind of values do I give today to my child, which is going to become a pattern for my child when he or she grows up? So
Exactly.
we need to have that vision 20 years down the line, 20 to
Mm.
30 years down the line.
Mm.
And that's
Oh,
the reason visionary parenting plays a very important role. And that's why also inner child healing. Why inner child healing? If as a parent, if I have healed myself from all the limiting beliefs that I've carried or I've, collected over the time, if
mm.
I have overcome those limiting beliefs, I won't be necessarily passing it on to my child because
Exactly.
I have overcome it in the first place.
Because you are now more aware that what you are doing, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful explanation about the visionary parent. And yeah, definitely, it should be the long-term goal to have a wonderful kid and have some value inculcated into them, some good habits inculcated into our kids, right? Because
Absolutely.
ultimately, what I understood, and as you all know, I am also into the parenting field since last 6 years, and I have learned somewhere from one of the Guruji, spiritual guru, who was speaking about this child development and parenting thing, that when you are developing your child, you are not developing your child actually, you are developing a nation. Okay, that child with the good habits, with good value system, with good belief system, they will create the new world, they will create the new nation. Okay, so you are
Absolutely.
actually doing a good when you are actually serving to the nation when you are serving to your child.
Yes, absolutely. Love the explanation. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. Apart from that, I also when you explain this na, मुझे एक चीज ये समझ में आई that the visionary parent should be have a long term goal, 20 years goal कि भाई क्या होना चाहिए, as well as we need to be aware कि what environment we are providing to our child, what platform we are
Yes,
providing, because as we all know, like environment is more powerful, right?
yes,
हम
yes,
कितना भी मतलब बता दे कि ऐसा करना है, बट बच्चा वो तभी करेगा जब वो एनवायरमेंट उसको मिलता है, जब वो देखता है कि मेरे पेरेंट्स भी ये फॉलो कर रहे हैं, राइट?
yes, yes.
So for being a visionary parent, we need to work on ourselves, and that's where exactly the unique concept which you come up with. Okay, the inner child healing and the parenting, उन दोनों को जो combine करने का आपका जो wonderful idea है, वो यहाँ पे exactly fit होता है. So I would like to know that how you come up with this idea to इन दोनों चीजों को मिला के एक बहुत ही wonderful चीज बन सकती है. So can you please explain something about it?
So thank you so much for that question. I think it originates from my experience. Like
Mhm.
I went through postpartum depression after giving birth to my
Okay.
daughter,
Mm,
and there were a lot of challenges that I went through. Like
mm,
I used to be in this victim zone. Okay,
mm,
I had created this victim energy around me, and
mhm.
who was blaming others for everything that happens with this victim girl, right?
Oh,
So I was blaming my parents, by my in-laws, my husband, my daughter, everybody I was blaming कि मेको मेरी life बर्बाद हुई because of these people, right?
mm,
I was not ready to take responsibility of my own life and
mm,
my own actions. And because of which, what happened was that I started accumulating all those negative emotions, and it bursted out one day on the
mm.
most defenseless person in my life. Who would that be? My daughter.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because they are defenseless, they do not have
Mm,
their own defenses. They cannot defend themselves from a grown up adult.
mm.
Right? So, I vented all my anger on her and I hit her.
Oh,
And that was the moment I realized that, oh my God, what have I done? Right. And let me tell you the fact that I was, able to have that much anger was since childhood. I have seen a little violent behavior. So
oh.
I was also beaten up as a child, right? हम कौन नहीं हम especially
Ex-
millennials हम तो proudly कहते हैं कि हम तो मार खा के पड़े हुए हैं, right?
exactly. Yes.
But we don't understand what kind of repercussions or what kind of impact does it leave on the child when the child is being beaten up,
Mm.
right? So those impacts I did have, and I did the same thing with my daughter. I
Oh.
was passing on the same things that I went through as a child
Mm.
to my daughter. And then what happened? Then I realized that this is my pattern. Like I said, right? We live by pattern. And this is my pattern. And I need to realize this. If not today, literally that was the moment, when I literally thought that I've ruined my child's brain because I hit her on the head and her head banged the floor.
Oh my God.
That was the level of anger. And in that fraction of seconds, I realized that what if I've lost my only chance to create this beautiful bond with my daughter? What if I've lost her forever? That was the magnitude of the problem that I could see in that particular moment. And then, of course, I got her checked with her pediatrician. Everything was fine. She was 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And
quite young age, at quite a young age, this happened to her, and it definitely, imprints very, the deep impression into her mind.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's when I completely broke down. I remember breaking down in front of the pediatrician only. I completely broke down, and I made this promise to myself that, you know what, I'm not going to let this happen ever in her life. I'm not going to let this happen. And that was the start of my journey. I started researching a lot. I started my post-graduation diploma in child psychology because I wanted to understand psychology part of it. Then somehow once I was searching about unresolved emotions, why was there so much of anger within me? That's when I got introduced to inner child healing. Right? Inner child healing is not something that we in India have originated. It's originated in Germany. It's coined by, that term is coined by a famous psychologist named Carl Jung. Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, right? These two were famous psychologists. And of course, psychology has to be related with inner child healing because the base of inner child healing is psychology, right? So that's how I got introduced. And I also met my mentor, China Karmakar, from whom I did my inner child healing. And after that, I literally felt liberated.
Okay.
That anger, those emotions that went up, right? Those went down. And I started practicing. Of course, that is something that I make my community members do as well. But that was the origination of inner child healing with parenting, because I truly believe that if you are a parent, even if you're not a parent, you should be doing inner child healing. But for me, I focus on parents because they are responsible for creating the future generation, the next generation.
Exactly. So with this, I would like to ask you, you just mentioned in briefly what inner child healing is, because a lot of people don't know exactly, because there are so many kind of healing techniques out there right now into the market. So they are not aware about what is inner child healing. So can you just briefly, make us understand what exactly be inner child healing? What things you will do with the people who are getting this healing? Right?
Absolutely. So inner child healing, as I shared, it's a term coined by Carl Jung, who's a famous psychologist. Now, what is inner child? We all have a person or this personality we have in us who loves to have fun. Like if there's rain, that inner child comes out, right? नहीं, मुझे भी खेलना है.
Exactly.
कोई बच्चे के साथ हम खेल रहे हैं, हम खुद बच्चे बन जाते हैं. That is our inner child acting out, right? But this inner child is also someone who remembers all the trauma that as a child we went through. As I shared, from 0 to 12, we are all subconscious beings, 100% subconscious, right? As we become adults, of course, conscious, क्योंकि conscious brain develop होता है. Conscious brain does not develop until the age of 12. After 12 years, that conscious brain, neocortex is the technical term of that brain, which is situated right here. That's the latest kind of brain in the human brain evolution, neocortex. It's only 10,000 years old.
Okay. Only 10,000.
Only 10,000 years old. The reptilian brain, which is the brain responsible for your fight and flight, right? Responsible for taking care of yourself, because ये जो adrenaline rush होता है हमें, That happens because the reptilian brain is sending out the signal that this is a threatening situation. And the brain does not know the difference between real threat and the false threat. इसीलिए बच्चा कोई गड़बड़ कर रहा है, हमें गुस्सा आ जाता है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे ब्रेन को ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि ये रियल थ्रेट है या फॉल्स थ्रेट है.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And what happens at that time is the entire energy flows into our hands and legs. Either we fight that situation or we run away. Fighting matlab anger. Exactly. Right? Anger is also a defense mechanism. Or we run away. We don't face our problems. So where does this inner child comes into picture is when there are situations when we have fear of failure, fear of success, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of feeling left out. Then we have perfectionism.
Yes.
Many people, face this.
So many, especially in the parenting area, so many parents are thinking that their child should have everything perfectly. Everything should be done perfectly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Perfectionism is something that shows out. Then self-doubt. We have so much of low confidence. We don't have confidence. Why? As an adult, we don't have confidence. Why? Because since childhood, there were instances when we were told that you are not good enough. You're not good enough. You can't do it alone. You can't do it at all. Right? For me, I was born and brought up in a very protective environment. And I was always told that you don't do this, don't do that, don't go here, don't go there. You won't be able to do this. As an adult self, as a teenager, anytime I would want to try something new, my inner voice would tell me, Apurva, don't even try. You won't be able to do this. Yeah. That is the inner child that's speaking out. And that's why we fail to take certain actions that are mostly required for us to take, but we don't take it.
Yes.
We get scared. We self-doubt. We self-sabotage. It's nothing but our subconscious mind. Inner child is nothing but whatever we have learned and we have stored in those 12 years, whatever we learned, we have stored it, and that subconscious mind remembers everything.
Actually, we have stored the kachra. We never needed to store it. Yes. And with this conversation, I realized something, that there is no need of child development. Actually, there is a strong need of parent development, right?
That's why it is called parenting. No, otherwise it would be kidding.
Yeah, definitely.
Or childing. Childing to nahi hota, kidding to nahi hota na. Parenting. Why parenting? Because we parents need to work on ourselves. Only then. And it is said, right, that kids are excellent imitators. They're not good listeners.
Exactly.
There are so many parents who come to me who complain that मेरा बच्चा तो मेरी बात ही नहीं सुनता है. मैं क्या करूं मैम? मेरे बच्चे को fix कर दो आप. This is the mindset that they come with. The child has got nothing to do to fix. There's nothing to fix in the child. There's everything to fix in ourselves as an adult. Right? Because I wouldn't say that you should be a role model to your child. I will not say that you should be a role model. I will say that you are a role model. You are a role model.
Whether you believe it or not, right?
Yes. Whether you believe it or not, you are a role model. And there's no running away from this responsibility. Definitely. So better to do it in a better way, right? There's nothing called right or wrong, but there's always a better way to do anything.
With this, I would like to share one of my experience, as you just said, that you are a role model, whether you are doing it or not. So I'm a regular meditator, right? I do meditation every day, but my time is, before the lunch, I do the meditation in between the day, right? The lunch time. So what happens usually when I go to the home and before lunch, I sit in my room. Okay. So everyone knows that it is a meditation time. So 15 to 20 minutes, no one will come into my room, right? Okay. Even the childs are not allowed into my room. So before few days, my wife said me that, Kalpesh, why don't you teach our child how to meditate? So I said, yeah, let me try. And I tried to, tell him, but it was quite difficult because my child is 5-year-old. Okay. It was quite difficult to make him understand what is exactly meditation. Right? So I tried few days to instruct him, but it was not working. But then I tried one thing, then I understood this thing, what you just said. Okay, we are the role model and they are imitating us. So this, click into my mind from somewhere. And what I started to do is I keep my room open whenever I'm doing the meditation. So child will come and see what Papa is doing and all these things. And to my surprise, within 1 month, he is right now sitting besides me and just keeping his hands like this and close his eyes. I don't know what exactly he's doing, but at least he's imitating. At least he's doing that. Yeah,
Yes.
and meditating, right?
Yes, absolutely. So similar experience even I had. I've been doing this since 3 years now, meditation. And what I have experienced, that I take my daughter everywhere I go. Okay, it's something that that is like something that we both do together. Wherever we are going, we are going to satsang, any kind of satsang. If we are going to any kind of place where I have to share, I have to talk, even in my inner circle calls, which I do with my community members, I keep her beside. She's there. She's listening to me all the time. And what I have observed, that she is trying to inculcate. One day, I just observed her. She took my phone. I have not. At our place, we do not have TV. We do not, we do not give her mobile. So, but then one day I found her. She opened up the camera and she's like, she's saying that now I'm going to sing a song. Are you ready? Please tell me yes or no. Okay, bye. She's trying to copy whatever, like, because even I have to say these things whenever I'm recording videos. So she's listening to me, and it's like, oh my God, wow.
So that is a quite learning for all of us, that we need to be what we want our child to be, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, great insights, great, wonderful learning. I would like to ask you that you are doing this practice and you are helping people to heal themselves with the inner child healing practice, as well as make their parenting journey more enhanced. Okay, so can you share some of the examples, like some of your students might have come to you and they will have some problems, and after this technique, after using this thing, and they got some results. Can you please share some results?
Absolutely. I have so many to share, but I'll share some prominent ones. There's one community member. He, I wouldn't name him, but he, he had this anger issue, okay, anger and ego issues. But somehow he realized that this is getting passed on to my daughter. So he, of course, got in touch, and we started with his inner child healing. During that process, I got to know that he, as a child, he was bullied a lot. He felt as an unwanted child because he got this idea that he's a second child. So he got an idea from somewhere when he was a child that he was an unwanted, his parents wanted a girl.
Oh.
Throughout his life, he grew up in this thought process that my parents hate me, my parents don't like me. Because of that, he had developed a lot of anger within him. He was bullied as a child. And because of that, he had low confidence, self-doubt, all of that. Fear of failure, fear of abandonment. And after going through the process, right? It's like an ongoing journey, but we can address the major issues that we face in our life. So what he went through this journey, he was not only able to mend his relationship with his wife. Of course, because of that, the relationship with everybody impacts, right? One area of your life is impacted, all the areas will show up.
Yes.
So he was able to mend his relationship with his wife, with his daughter, with his parents. Like, there was so much of anger that he collected over the time. Just imagine 30 years, you're holding on to that anger, that I was an unwanted child. And he was able to mend that relationship. He was able to forgive and have a healthy conversation with his mother. That, throughout my lifetime, like 30 years, you did not share, but all of a sudden, after doing that inner child healing, he was able to open up, become vulnerable with his parents, that, this is what I felt. And of course, his mother shared with him that is absolutely not true. In fact, The first child when we had, we did not celebrate at all. But when you were born, your father celebrated. He distributed sweets among so many people. So
Oh.
that was a revelation for him, right?
Hmm.
And he was able to heal his relationship. Not just that, because he healed one area of his life, he was able to manifest his dream job.
Oh,
So you see,
wonderful.
he was able to, in all the areas, he was able to heal himself. So that's the journey.
Hmm.
So even in the community, I focus on healing every part or every area of your life, not just relationship, but
Mhm.
career, money,
Mhm.
this spirituality,
Hmm.
materialistic, what desires we have. All
Hmm.
of that comes into picture. Now there's one more example, one more student of mine.
Mhm.
So this is a little intense, okay? So
Okay.
she has a special child. Okay? She has a
Hmm.
special child, and she went through a very abusive relationship.
Oh.
And her as a child, she was overachiever, but at home she went through a little sexual abuse,
Oh.
and because of that, she had a lot of self doubt, no confidence at all. No
Mhm.
confidence at all. She left her job because she had a special child. 5 years of gap
Oh.
between the job, the career gap was there. After doing inner child healing, after joining the community, throughout the process, she was able to manifest, she was able to get a job, get her dream job at 22 lakhs rupees per annum.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was the kind of jump that she had, even after having this much of gap.
5 years of gap is a
5 years of
you
gap,
know,
it's quite
quite long.
impossible, right?
Yeah.
That she was able to come out of her abusive relationship. She was
Hmm.
able to develop that self confidence. Because of that self
Hmm.
confidence, she was able to come out of that abusive relationship, and now
Hmm.
she knows what is her priority. Her priority is her son, her job, and she's also a yoga trainer. So she was also able to start her own yoga coaching center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So nothing to boast about this, but this it's a beautiful thing. I personally have manifested so many things when I did it with my mentor.
Hmm.
I literally healed every area of my life.
Wonderful. And this also definitely all these things when the things are blossoming into your life, definitely your parenting would be at next level. So with
Absolutely.
your relationship with your family members, your relationship with your child, it will be at next level, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I was able to heal myself, I know
Hmm.
for a fact that whatever, there are so many, so many fight and flight, so many times it kicks in, right? ये करोगे तो वो हो जाएगा, वो करोगे तो ये हो जाएगा. So many times we keep on telling our children, right? कि ये मत
Hmm.
करो, वो मत करो. That has completely stopped. My daughter has the flexibility to try anything that she wants. I give her that confidence that you are capable of doing anything, right?
Hmm.
When you as a parent have that confidence, that's when the child also builds that confidence, and the child also is able to go out in the world in the most beautiful way, right?
Exactly. And that confidence and that kind of belief is required for him to prosper, for him to get success in any area of their life,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Wonderful. So overall, as I see, the parenting is tough job, really tough job if you have not worked on yourself. Am I right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to kill you if you have not worked on yourself. There are so many parents, they just keep on complaining कि मेरा बच्चा तो सुनता ही नहीं, मेरे बच्चे के साथ आप बात करो, मेरे साथ मत बात करो, मेरे बच्चे के साथ बात करो. So I always try to explain, you fix your energy.
Hmm.
I'll give you one example, okay? One experience that I personally had. So my daughter had fever, okay? Me and my daughter, we both were down, we ill with fever, and something happened like 2-3 months ago. What happened was that her fever was not reducing below 103. And
Okay.
usually we do not go to allopathy. First, we try that she heals on herself. If
Hmm.
that is not happening, then we go to homeopathy.
Hmm.
If homeopathy does not work, then it is like a last resort कि नहीं अभी कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, करना ही पड़ेगा. So
Hmm.
that was our last resort, and we took her to allopathic medicine. And वो medicine भी हम 8 to 10 medicines were given. Can you imagine? 8 to 10 medicines were given. And throughout that time, when we went to the doctor and when we came back, throughout that time, I had this inner chatter. My energy was so such that कि नहीं मेरी बच्ची तो लेगी नहीं ये कड़वे मेडिसिन तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं लेगी बिल्कुल भी नहीं लेगी. This is my internal dialogue that's happening. Okay. And that day, that night, my daughter, I'm trying to give my daughter the medicine. She did not take even a single medicine, and she slept that way only without medicines. Now, since I have a habit of introspecting, what happened? Why did this happen? I have this habit. Okay, I keep on asking this question to myself. क्या फर्क पड़ा? क्या difference था? क्यों नहीं लिया? Then I introspected and I realized that my energy was down. I constantly had this thought कि पता नहीं यार मेरे बच्ची ने कभी एलोपैथी मेडिसिन कड़वे मेडिसिन होते हैं लेगी नहीं वो. This was the internal dialogue that I was having with myself. Then I fixed myself, fixed my energy. Next morning, getting up before going to her, before giving the medicines, I fixed my energy. I kept on affirming myself कि नहीं, my daughter is capable of having these medicines. And she realizes that if she takes these medicines, she will become better, right? She will overcome this illness. And I kept on working on my energy. I kept on telling myself, my daughter is capable of doing this. My daughter is capable of doing this. And once I knew that, you know what, I have worked on my energy, I went to my daughter. Guess what? She took all the medicines.
Oh.
She took it.
Without any resistance.
Without any resistance.
Wow.
It's our resistance that shows up. And our children are energy, you know, they are energy sensitive beings. They quickly grab our energy. So if we have this energy, मेरा बच्चा तो सुनता ही नहीं, मेरा बच्चा तो खाना ही नहीं खाता है, खाना ही नहीं खाता है, खाना ही नहीं खाता है, और उस एनर्जी से हम खिलाएंगे तो खाना नहीं खाएगा.
Oh, I believe you have gave me some of the things to work with my child actually. That's wonderful tip and wonderful trick, and definitely all the viewers, all the participants, or all the people who will be watching this interview, definitely they'll be benefit with this tip. And yeah, I do have some of the things to work on my hand right now. Thank you very much for the same. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with this, I would like to ask you that there are so many kind of, things happening. And what is the importance of the early childhood learning? As I know that I have done the Garbh Sanskar practice when we were, having our kid in a womb. And you also did the same as far as I understand. Okay. So what is the importance of learning into the early childhood or the, during the womb, like during the pregnancy period? What is the importance of learning into the child's life, right? Can you please share something?
Okay. So my thought process might be a little different. Okay. So in Garbha Sanskar is what we do is we develop the creative side of the child's brain. Creative side as in they ask us to do something creative. For me, I used to, of course, they were chanting mantras, having that peaceful and calmness in your poise and your environment. That is something which is very important. Learning, when it comes to learning, I would say that from 0 to 7 or 0 to 8 are the years of building the child's intuitive abilities, as well as the child's inner wisdom.
Okay.
The child should understand the inner wisdom. The child should understand how much should I eat. Our focus should be in developing their entire organs, because throughout 0 to 7, of course, it is said that the brain development is at the highest. Right? That's how our body works. From 0 to 7. Brain development happens from 7 to 14. The limbs and the chest and all the breathing pattern develops. 14 to 21, of course, it's puberty. It's the reproductive organ that is being developed, right? 0 to 7, it is usually people focus a lot on, making them learn a lot, making them ABCD siklo, abhi yehi siklo, wohi siklo, sab kuch siklo at the same time. Yeah, that is very important. That is something that is going to help the child, definitely. At the same time, we should also be focusing on the child's inner wisdom. if the child is eating properly, if the child is playing, having that unstructured play, right? Many parents, they enroll their children to singing, dance, ये सब कुछ मेरा बच्चे को सब कुछ आना चाहिए, right?
Swimming and karate and gymnastic and lot of things.
सब कुछ आना चाहिए मेरे बच्चे को और 7 साल में ही वो सब सीख जाएगा.
Exactly.
Because brain development is happening, parents feel that. But what happens is we are not understanding the repercussions of enrolling our children to a lot of activities is when they grow up as an adult, they develop chronic anxiety or chronic stress might get developed because 0 to 7 में हमने इतना pressure डाल दिया, इतना focus, इतना सब कुछ सीख गया बच्चा. Of course, they are going to learn. There's nothing, there's not that कि बच्चा नहीं सीखेगा. But over the time, what is being hampered is the mental state, mental calmness, mental poise that is required when we become adults.
Absolutely.
It is so important. The world is so distracted right now. Why is it distracted? Why are we getting stuck in the Insta reels and stories? Because there's so much of pressure. Office ka pressure ho gaya, ghar ka pressure ho gaya, बच्चा सुन नहीं रहा है उसका pressure हो गया. And that pressure, nowadays the youth is committing suicide.
Yeah.
Why is it happening? It's because there is so much of peer pressure. Children go through that peer pressure, whether we want them or not.
Exactly.
Whether we want them to go through that or not. We are continuously comparing our children. अरे उसका बच्चा तो swimming कर लेता है, ये कर लेता है, वो कर लेता है, मेरा बच्चा कुछ भी नहीं करता है. That comparison is literally pulling down our children's talents.
Okay.
जो talent भर के है बच्चों में.
Exactly. It is a quite contradiction, right? That parents are feeling that they are pushing their child to be more developed, while actually they are doing is they are pulling their leg and they are not letting them develop. That is exactly happening, right?
Yeah. So I truly follow this Rudolf Steiner philosophy, Waldorf philosophy, which says that the early childhood development the focus should be on the inner wisdom. And of course, learning is a part. Learning is a part of it, but not in a pressured way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
जो natural learning होता है वो जो उसको मिलेगा, that is quite something good. And that's why I believe that Maria Montessori method of teaching the child at a very early age is really effective, because they are unstructured actually. They are not structured.
Yes. Actually, my daughter was also in Montessori before getting into a Waldorf school. So the learning pattern is very beautiful in Montessori. That I have to agree. Yes.
Exactly. Wonderful. So yeah, Apurva, today's session was wonderful and you have gave us a lot of insights. आपकी बहुत सारी learnings, आपका जो experience है वो हमें बहुत काम आएगा, जो parents है उसकी parenting journey को काफी अच्छा बनाने के लिए. With this, I would like to tell you all people that if you have any kind of question, और आपको visionary parents क्या है, किस तरह से बनना है, उसके बारे में है, inner child, if you feel after this session that you need to heal yourself or something like that, okay, then you can definitely contact Apurva on Instagram. You can contact Apurva at Coach Apurva, जो कि उसका handle है, as well as I'll be just saying the mail ID of Apurva, that is the visionaryparent@gmail.com. Okay, so you can contact her and she will definitely help you out regarding all your queries. Okay, and with this, Apurva, would you like to share anything with our viewers?
I think I can do something. I have a gift for the viewers, Kalpesh, if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like to invite them to my masterclass where I share in detail what is this inner child, how does it show up in the real world, how does it show up as an adult, how does it show up, and what can we do to heal that part of our life. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll share that link with you if you can just share it with the viewers.
Definitely. You can spell out where exactly they can go to, register for that master
Yeah.
class.
So it's thevisionaryparent.com/landing dash page.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, we are also doing,
I'll
yeah.
yeah, I'll share the link with you so you can
Sure,
share that.
sure. We are also doing something something like this every fortnight, every 15 day. We will be having one workshop, live workshop with all the parents, live on the Zoom. Okay, and usually this is regarding the parenting and child development. Okay, and right now we are having some of the great people to deliver their knowledge into this workshop also. So we are also doing some kind of similar things. Okay, so it really help us to मतलब parents को उसकी journey में काफी help करती है ये सारी चीजें. And we really thank you for gift to all of our viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you, Kalpesh. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay, have a nice time. Bye bye.